Hello, hello, hello. Ron Gross. Why haven't you started sending me hate mail? Saying, Rob, you're late. Anyway, I know it's not hate mail. I get it. Let me turn this down. Okay. How you doing? There's nobody here but me and you, Ron. But like I said before, when I do these, especially at this time, it's basically for later video recordings later, whatever. And tonight it's 3 o'clock here, Saturday morning. So tonight at 8 or 9, I had an interview scheduled with a prominent member, I should say, of the Hells Angels by the name of Danny Bifield, aka Dimond Dan. By the way, I just put a chew in my mouth. I do it every time almost now. I got so hooked on this shit in rehab. But anyway, and I don't know why. It's like right before I go, I start putting in a chew and I can't talk half the time. But I am going to do some reading tonight, a couple articles that I wrote. That's at the end, and I'll make sure that my chew's out before then. Why does this live say live 1 cent? What the hell's that? Real quick, MRE, mob rats exposed. We push back. Shout out to you. I was just watching your show a minute ago, and I haven't talked to you in a while, and I hope you reach out. And the people in his audience that support me. And likewise, Johnny Mack. I watched some of his program earlier, and the last week, I think it was, when he was on with me, a lot of people came from him and what's the girl? I'm sorry about names. They call the B or whatever. She looked like I saw her tonight. She looked like Christine Aguilera, by the way. Excuse me. Okay, so let's start off with the Hell's Angel interview, Danny Byfield's interview. Danny Byfield and I did time together at Lewisburg in the years 2002 to 2007. He schooled me at handball. I mean, just beat my ass. And he's having some health problems right now. And I'd like to play him right now so I can win one. But in all seriousness, I mean, Danny, we played a lot during lunch. We'd skip lunch and play handball. And he taught me how to become a better player. But Danny was a beast. Some months ago during the summer, I got information that Danny was in prison and not doing too well. Matter of fact, it looked like he was on his way out, meaning dying. And I was able to get in contact, or his girlfriend Debra, I think it was, after a while, got in contact. We talked. She gave me some of the rundown. And long story short, Danny Byfield made it out on compassionate release here within the month, I think it is. Excuse me. And we talked. It was good talking to him. He's still the same old Danny. One of the most upbeat guys I've ever ran across. Really, just a positive attitude in the joint all the time. Doesn't mean he likes it there. Just always cracking jokes, smile on his face. Just good memories of Danny. Anyway, we were all scheduled for an interview, and I'm not going to get into it, but the interview is canceled indefinitely. Okay. Now, I do notice that some of the bigger outlaw motorcycle clubs, I guess you would say, have some kind of policy about media and interviews and stuff. I get that. So, and that's not what was being said to me. So I want to make it clear. All I'm saying is Danny's not, the interview's been canceled. Debbie was going to come on too. Debra, that's his girlfriend / advocate. He would not be out of prison if it was not for Debra. I want to make that clear. She has 40 years experience in the medical field, and sharp lady, loves him to death. He loves her. I mean, just really, really good couple. Anyway, she was going to come on. Long story short, they're not. Okay. And let me tell you something. I've had so many people, the most people ever reach out to me behind the scenes and talk about Danny's interview. People gave me some suggestions on questions, but so many people reached out to me about that interview. And sure, I'm bummed. Sure, I was bummed about it. But I've got other things to be bummed about and grateful for. So I know there's going to be a lot of people bummed about that. I mean, a lot, because like I said, there's people that never even heard of my show, um, that reached out to me and they're like, "Are you sure he's going to be on?" Well, yes, they're right. But anyway, yeah. So, and speaking of the Hell's Angels, Johnny Bartz, um, I haven't talked to him in a week. We went back and forth. We were going to do interview number two. Um, a lot of people really enjoyed hearing from him. Really positive guy, sharp guy. He's doing well. Um, so I'll see where that goes. And I thought of something else. There's a guy, HA member by the name of Damo. I think he was out of San Diego that I did time with at Butner Hospital. Um, I was in there dealing with my bladder cancer, and we was on the third floor. He was on the third floor, I think. But we spent a little time together. And when I got transferred to Butner FCI 2, he was gone within a week or two of me getting there. But he was really into finance. A lot of guys in Butner at that time were learning how to form corporations for the purpose of corporate credit, doing stock, a lot of things. And Damo was like on top of it. So if anybody out there knows who Damo is, just tell him that Rob Rosso said hello. Some of my respect. I hope he's doing well. Um, and while I'm talking about motorcycle clubs, let me say that I do have friends that were outlaws, and of course, I know Conan, who some say is at the top with the pagans. Um, another guy that I have good memories of. Um, Respects to them all. Madman, those are outlaws. Frank Wheeler, of course, I was pretty close with. So nothing but respect for all you guys. And if any of you guys ever want to reach out to me from any organization, uh, feel free to do so. A lot of times people only hear negative stuff about one percenters. They actually do a lot of charity work, and I would like to, do something about that sometime. But anyway, so the big breaking news of the night, the disappointing news really is that the interview with Danny Bifield has been suspended indefinitely. Don't you hate that word indefinitely? People say that because you don't know. What does that mean exactly? Does that mean it's never going to happen? That's like it leaves it open ended. It's really screwed up. Excuse me. Um, okay, so let me go ahead and talk about me. Imagine that. Let me see something real quick. Jason, what's up, Jason? Annie, hi from Australia. Okay, down under. Hi, flyer. Hello. Hi. Top G, how's things, Rob? Well, I got things to be grateful for, okay? And I've got a few problems. Um, so there's not many people here right now, but people will hear this later. So I have been candid about pretty much everything, my personal life that I can be, about the fact that I've had reoccurring bladder cancer since 2005. I was very young to get bladder cancer. Usually it's either some kids will get it, but usually, guys in their 60s and stuff. Um, I was in my mid 30s, and to date, I've had 24 reoccurrences. If anybody knows anything about bladder cancer, that's a lot. Um, I've been fortunate. It's been superficial, meaning imagine the bladder as a balloon, and you have zits growing inside of the balloon. They grow up, not in. So they grow, into the bladder instead of into the muscle tissue and other organs. So I've had the first time I was diagnosed with it, 2005. There were two tumors. Excuse me. Here's my chew again. Two tumors that actually toyed around the bladder wall area. That's not good when it goes into the bladder wall. Okay. Depends on the type of tumor, whether it's cancerous or not, because some of it's non-cancerous. And there's different types of tumors. Some metastasize quicker. Anyway, so the first time I had some, and When I got out of prison, April 2021, I had an appointment a couple months later, and one of those tumors, the roots touched the bladder wall. That was the first time it really started taking, it was growing in rather than growing out or superficial or like zits growing up, whatever you want to say. Excuse me. So I had surgery last Friday. Just to go over this again, on Thursday, I had a court hearing for a revocation hearing for violating the terms and conditions of my supervised release, specifically dirty urine test, alcohol, drugs. Um, it's no secret that I've struggled with addiction. I was expecting to get 3 years to go into prison that day for 3 years. That wouldn't have been, well, it would have been above the guidelines. The guidelines were 9 to 14 months. But given my history and the fact that the judge has been so lenient, as well as the probation and the prosecutor, I did expect 3 years. The judge let me stay out because I had surgery the following day. And it's has been suspected that I will have chemo for 6 to 8 weeks. And the chemo, by the way, it's not what you guys think. It's more of injecting a little bottle into the bladder via catheter. And it takes just a few minutes, and then you have to hold the stuff in your bladder. You have to stay in your bladder for like 2 hours. Okay. Excuse me. So I need to say right here and now, once again, to Judge Brooks out of the Western District of Arkansas, I am so grateful that he gave me the opportunity to stay out and deal with the cancer on the street rather than send me to the Bureau of Prison. And I have to say that I have had some good urologists in prison. The problem is the system or the bureaucracy. Let's say I have cancer in my bladder right now, it needs to be removed. I mean, it can take months. One time, they discovered I had tumors. They were trying to get me to surgery immediately, and it took 9 months. Okay, so and that's dangerous if the cancer was to grow in. Well, I just got my pathology report back. Well, so yesterday would be Friday, so Thursday, and I'm here to say that the tumor, one of the tumors, and I don't know how many. I don't even know if it was just one. I was out of it when the doctor left, and he talked to my mom. My mom really didn't know. One of the tumors has entered the bladder wall. The roots has. Um, I haven't talked to the doctor yet. I've done some research. I know quite a bit about it and what that means. And I know exactly what I know. I know what the conversation's coming is going to be. It's remove the bladder. And I just can't see doing it. I can't. And the reason is because the chance of me then being impotent is greater than not. And at 54 years old, me who served almost 24 years straight, the last time, what do I have? Like 28, 29 years in total. I just can't see it. I mean, I just can't see it. It doesn't mean I want to die. It means that I'm opting for to do whatever I can not to have it taken out. And I know some people will say that's foolish and all that other stuff. Um, I can't see that happening. I've been against it, and I'm still way against it. Um, the truth is, I was sentenced to die in prison. I made it out, and that was a pretty amazing in itself. So we'll see how how that all goes. But I'm it would take an act of Congress almost for me to agree to have my bladder taken out. That's just how it is. So that's out of the way. I don't want people, the people that support me and people that have hated me through the years probably cheer. Whatever. I mean, whatever. I'm just saying. I appreciate comments and stuff like that. And I do read Ron Gross. You're on the top of the list as far as me really paying attention to what you say, even though I don't like it at times. You've been there since the beginning. And there are some people that genuinely care and concern. And it's not like I'm making an irrational decision based on depression or things going on in my life. I've been adamantly against this forever. Okay. But we'll see how that goes. That's enough of that. So I just wanted to put that out there. I knew I would have to. I have been putting out since I started this show updates on my health and everything else in my life pretty much. So there's that. That's the two main things I wanted to talk about was Danny Bifield and just put it out there that we'll see. Oh, there's good news in the pathology report though too. So it's not all bad. I'm not going to get into it all, but it could have been a lot worse. I had a feeling that it was going to go that way. I just did. I've had it for a while, and as a matter of fact, I did a short when I got out of having done my cystoscopy. That's when they scope. They stick a tube up you and look in your bladder to see what's going on. The doctor told me, he found a little tumor or whatever, and immediately went into the bladder removal speech, and I just wasn't hearing it. Okay, so what else did I put in this title? This isn't going to be too long tonight. My normal, I started working some time ago. I'm not working right now. The factory's laid off, but I got used to this schedule where it's like 5, 6 o'clock I go to bed. I was going to try to do this earlier, but this just all worked out for this time. It's not going to be that long. I'm mostly doing this. It'll be pre-recorded, whatever, and I'll post it. And let me read a couple comments real quick before I do anything else. Excuse me. What was it like doing time with Vic Arena? Okay, who are you? 1247. Top G, what's up? Let me back up just in case there's other ones I'm missing. So I was only around Vic a short period of time, and he was in a different block. And when I say short period of time, maybe I was on the compound with him at Terre Haute for a month or two. As soon as he found out who I was, meaning it's not like I was some popular guy, meaning he found out that I was with Carmine Persico for a long time and that I was close with them. And he came up to me, found me, and just said, if Junior would have listened to me, or so. I forgot what he even said. So what was it like? It kind of irrelevant. He was in G block, came out on the yard a little bit. He had some serious health problems, and so I really don't have much to say about Vic. Nice guy to me, seemed to get along. Everybody seemed to like him, but that's it. So Jason, it isn't foolish. Just take your time, think about it, and do what's best for you, pal. Thanks, Jason. I appreciate it. And what's up, OG Mike? Thank you, bro. OG Mike, a big shout out. I go back to court. I think it's the 29th of March, and OG Mike has offered to help me with things, as far as this channel, and I appreciate him more than he knows. Okay, Doug Ross, nice to see you, Rob. I can post these. Damn, I keep forgetting. Nice to see you, Rob. In a small bit. Been dealing with some shit. You get better. You hear me. You can't go yet, man. Thanks, Doug Ross. I appreciate it. Okay. Are you squashing the beef with Calandra? So I made a comment about Jimmy when I got out of rehab the last time. So I've been twice. I don't want to continue talking trash about others. I'm not going to say I never will. Okay. And you can see, look, you can see the difference in me when I come out just like fresh, clean. And I'm all like rehab minded and stuff. You can see it. So let's not play. And I'm not saying I'm fucked up or I've been on some kind of, it's not been like that. The two big issues in my life remain finances, marital, but again, dealing with all of that and this cancer thing is kind of, this, I knew in my heart. So I'll say this, let me bounce off something else. What was it? 3 or 4 weeks ago, an old acquaintance of mine that I saw had some puppies, and the puppies are mutts. Well, they're actually, it's the father's a lab and the mother's a pit. I don't mind pits. I'm not a big pit guy. there's a lot of pit bulls around this area. Most people that are on meth have pit bulls. It's like a drug dog. It's like, the stereotype behind them. And they're all chained up and skinny and all that crap. But I wasn't. I've been wanting a dog for a while. Of course, I've got the court. I've got the court thing coming, and the sentence he gave me was 14 months. It was deferred. What that means is it's deferred. I'm going back. I have I'm going to prison. Okay. So, but I also felt like I needed a dog in my life. And the issue of the puppy came up again just the other day. And when I saw it the first time, there's 7 of them. And one of them immediately caught my attention, a female. She's reddish color. And I agreed. Well, okay. So I agreed really after I got the pathology report. Okay. Felt like I needed a dog in my life and the dog needed me. So I went, I had her. And last night, when I went and got her, it's like I walked up, grabbed her out of 7 brothers and sisters, put her in my car and left. Boom. So the dog's like traumatized, right? So when I brought her in the house, and I was gonna make her a house dog. She went in hidden corners and stuff like that, but quickly came around. And when I went to bed, what was it, 4 or 5 o'clock this morning? Slept in the bed with me. I bathed her 3 times, got her food. I mean, she's doing well. And every time I turned, it was like right there under my stomach. It was perfect for real. So I get up 10 o'clock, 9, whatever it was, bring her outside. I don't have a chain. I don't have any fences or anything. And she did, she was running towards the door the whole time. I was out there with her, and I sat down, was on the phone. She was trying to run back in the house. She went to the bathroom, got up, went and got some shoes, started tying my shoes on the phone. And I seen her put her nose up in the air and sniff the air. And I'll be damned if I didn't turn my head for a second, and she ran. And I ran back in the house real quick because she ran around the house. And I saw her where she was. Uh, I had to I was just getting my shoes on. So I think, yeah, that's what it was. I was putting my socks on at the beginning. So I grabbed my shoes, ran back outside, gone, gone. Uh, Down the road, so I live in the country, I heard dogs barking and I saw a glimpse of her, ran after her, and she's gone. Gone. Man, I swear to God, I searched for her for 2 hours. And even tonight, went back out and I thought I heard her like a couple times. She's going to be coyote food for sure. For sure. That sucks. Um, Probably nobody's going to want her because she is skinny. So from the time I saw her, the time I grabbed her, the people that had her just had them on a back porch area. They don't have much money. And she's not like totally, didn't look like totally malnourished or whatever, but I can see people looking at it and not wanting it around. I just can. And yeah, so that was a bummer. So this is all bad news. No, no, but anyway, man, it just killed me. I swear it did. Still does, even talking about it. But again, what did I put in the title? A dead puppy and a puppy and dead baby skin cream. Dead baby skin cream. Okay. So did you end up? Let me read a couple comments and I'll go into that because that's has something to do with an article I wrote years ago. Did you end up needing a catheter? Okay, Jason. So here's the deal with catheters. In case you guys, let me spit again. Excuse me. Okay, catheters. So I can self cat. That means stick it up you and relieve the urine or whatever. The first time I had a catheter was when I had back surgery way back in my early 20s. But when it comes to the bladder cancer, I've told this story. It's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and tell it in detail. Okay. Uh, I was brought out, rushed out. Was pissing blood for 9 months. Okay, and they wouldn't send me outside for whatever reason, paper, whatever. Finally, a regional director that used to be a warden at Leavenworth, who knew me well by the name of Mickey Ray, was doing a tour of the prison, and he had the whole entourage in suits. Well, I decided that day because I was pissing blood like the color and texture of tomato juice, okay, for a while, and it was getting on me. Well, I pissed in a honey bear bottle, like you get honey little bears, and I walked up in the chow hall with this honey bear, and of course the staff thought I was going to throw it on him or something. And Mickey Ray knew me well enough where I mean, I assaulted somebody in the chow hall. That was one of his pet peeves, and used to talk, run my mouth as a kid. So he respected me, but he didn't like me, But he knew I was serious, and he immediately had them send me to the outside hospital where they found my first scope, the first look inside of my bladder. It looked like the moon, like the craters of the moon. There were so many tumors. I think it was like a 3-hour surgery. Um, and when I woke up, they had cut the the tip of my urethral opening, head of my prick. They cut it open because they were putting bigger scopes in and stuff, whatever. And yeah, it makes it sound like I got a small prick, right? So anyway, they put 4 stitches in me in the head, and then put the catheter in me. Well, I woke up in pain, and I felt like I had to go to the bathroom, like I had to pee. So I remember a cop by the name of Bubba. That's what his name was. That's what we called him. This is a Lewisburg, from Lewisburg, staff country boy. And I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And he leans down and he whispers in my ear, you got a catheter in you. You got a catheter in you, bud. You got stitches in you. And I went into like shock, like convulsion. They threw blankets on me, hit me with some more, whatever, and knocked me out. A couple hours later, I'm getting wheeled in a wheelchair back. Well, took me in a van, brought me back to Lewisburg, wheeled me in the wheelchair so far, and then made me walk the length of 2 football fields with a catheter in me, with the stitches in me, and it felt like, you know, I had a fish hook in the end of my prick, and somebody was reeling me in. That's the pain it felt like. Um, they wouldn't give me pain pills. Um, Luckily, there was friends there that gave me heroin. That's the truth. And a day later, I wake up in the middle of the night with an erection and pop my stitches. Yeah. So, and my member looked like a hot dog blew up in the microwave. That's what it reminded me of. And and by the way, you pagans, Conan, um, I guess president saw it. He would not let he wasn't going to leave unless he like got to look at it. Right? If you know Conan, he's a jokester too. So I still have this catheter in me. I go down to medical. They won't take it out because there's blood in the bag. Well, I went back to the unit and put water in the bag because they were taking it out. Um, so I get a nurse to take it out. The way a catheter works is there's like a balloon in the end. They put 15 cc's of water, I guess it is. Well, she drained 15 cc's and then said, okay, count, 1, 2, and they pull it out on 2. You're supposed to go to 3. When she pulled it out, the balloon didn't have 15 cc's of water. It had 30 cc's of water. So this whole balloon came through my prick. You talk about screaming, you talk about pain. From that day forward, I don't do catheters. I do not let them leave catheters in me, okay? I will cut it off myself before I do that. And of course, urologists are against that because what happens is if you have tumors removed or, cutting in your bladder, it bleeds and then it scabs up and then the scab comes off and it could block your flow. So I just said, give me a catheter. That took a minute, to get used to that, but it's nothing to me. So that was a long way, Jason, of answering your question. I have not needed a cath. Well, I take that back. I probably needed one a few days ago. I was able to relieve myself without one, but I probably needed one. I don't have one. Don't be a Jimmy. Yeah, so Calandra, going back to Calandra, no, I'm not attacking Jimmy. I'm not. And I used to think he presented a pretty good show. Then I found out a lot of it was not factual, but um, they were talking about it, I believe, on MRE's show. They mentioned it, and yeah, I think I heard the show. I was proud of that once upon a time. It's not. I'm not proud of it today. It is what it is. He did. He did. Testify against somebody I know and care about a lot. Um, but that's the way it is. Be a Robbie. Okay, don't be a Jimmy. Be a Robbie. Okay, Rob, can you post your email, please, again for me? Doug Ross. Sure. I think it's on my homepage in the description section. It's info convictinc at gmail.com. I should do that. Oh, I can't do the banner right now. I should have done that though. Van Nuys, California house. Okay. Okay, Van Nuys. Rose Parade. Can you get a dog, brother? I'm just saying for me, it's therapy, man. I know you might go. Doug, yeah. So the days are getting less now. Um, I mean, I got one, yesterday, and yeah. So I know somebody who has little dogs, like Pomeranian kind of thing. Always hated those little things. My parents had Yorkies, but he's got a. Actually, what is it? No, it's a. Oh man, this dog, it's just got this personality. Anyway, I posted it on my Facebook page. I think on New Year, I babysat two dogs on New Year. That's what I did, and the dog's name is Gizmo and Jake. And I've been wanting, like I said, I've been wanting a dog. Actually, it goes way back. Goes back to last summer. Would I get one? I don't know. I don't know. I'm still pretty bummed about the dog today. Um, God, man, I just can't believe that happened like this. Oh, you want to hear what else happened today? Jeez. If it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Uh, I've had problems with my family, right? We I'm working on that. My mom called yesterday. She was with my sister and wanted me to take my sister's car in for an oil change today. Um, and I began to do so. Well, I didn't know there was like no oil in it. Okay. I didn't look. There was no light on. Long story short, for whatever reason, there's no oil in the car. Um, and the engine seized. I had it for I drove it for like minutes. Okay, it's gone. It's in my driveway right now. Gone. Locked up. And that comes on the heels of me, all my automobile problems. But what can I do? What can I do? If you stay a free man, bro, get one, please. Always a mixed breed is best. Okay, Doug. Yeah. So, you know, that dog was probably going to be big. Maybe she'll come back, but no, there's the coyotes have been close lately, uh, and bear and deer. And let's see. Yes, female. Best they found you. Okay, Doug. Put a ticking clock in her bed. Watch the bed. You get her sick with the cold. Yeah. Oh fuck. How old, Rob, was the dog? 2 months, 3 months. Not very old at all. Okay, what is it? Toro. What's it for? Two Toro. Is that what? Okay. Good morning. How you doing, Rob? Build a quick kennel, bro. Do you have a front door, back door, window, building a kennel around it? Well, I swear you'd have a salt. Um, so yeah, I've got my property's big, and I have a lot of material to build something like that. In fact, I got a little house that sits next to this house that was built in 1910, and I've been ignoring that. Like, it's got that old wood from 1910. I've thought about tearing it down, saving the wood, blah, blah, blah. The foundation of that house is better than this house. And that's what I did when I wasn't looking for the dog today. I wasn't in the mood to like work and stuff because I've still got that. I still got blood and stuff from the urine. But I crawled all underneath it, took photos, The beams are fine. There's a spot where it looks like it's caving in the middle. It's just where the dirt is going under. So I've already got the material, the jacks, and it's not going to be that hard to shore that back up at all. Ooh, here we go. Durst 99. Marta and I are still married. Marta and I are still married. Yeah, I don't want to do that right now. Durst, I'm not ignoring. I just don't. We're still married. Thank you, though. Feel the pain. I have prostate shit going on. Take a pill every day to piss now. I hear you, Doug. And yeah, they did a biopsy of my prostate too. No cancer, but there's inflammation in my bladder, and that is what Jay was talking about the other day when you told me you might need a catheter. So I was okay. Yeah, no, I hear you, Jason. Um, so excuse me. If you guys have not seen the video that I did with a guest the other night where I had the meltdown, um, I talk about some things that I did that are pretty hardcore to the normal person. And that is to beat urine test. I catheterized myself and put fake urine. And I know that's just like, what did you do? Just jumping in. I hope all's well. Oh yeah, no, cool, Toro. Um, just jumping in. I hope all's well. Okay with you today. Yeah, Toro. So if you just jumped in, yeah, I got a lot of things to be grateful for. I do have recurring bladder cancer, and the pathology report came back and said the cancer went into my bladder wall. However, that's not the end of the world. And let me be clear: the pathology report wasn't all that bad, and it's not like stage 4. It's just gone. It's just went the other direction. I just heard dog story. Dogs will find you, man. I don't know. That hurts. Yeah. So yeah, if the catheter thing, that's been making some circles. People have been talking about it, but it's in court records. Pull plugs and give it a drink. Well, something. Sorry, blowing up next. No, don't worry about it. You can blow it up. It's cool. Excuse me. Good man. You'll be okay. All right, Doug. So yeah, what else? Okay. So I did the dog, the car. Like I said, I wasn't going to stay on that long. So this is what I've been doing last week or so. I used to write a lot. I started writing in 2000. I mean, really got into it in 2008. Well, 7, 8. I had a website which was called convictinc.com. And it was going to be a prison pen pal based website or whatever, but I needed material for the site. And I started posting articles on it. And I taught myself how to write. I dropped out of school early, got a GED, passed by 1 point, and read a lot in prison, and started to teach myself how to write. I'm going to read you guys. I was going to read one, okay? And I heard something on MRE show. He was talking about the issue, which will be the second article, which will be the Uncivil Rights movement. Now, it's kind of off topic for anything else, but let me get back to what I was trying to say a minute ago. Somebody suggested a while ago that I go back, start digging out my articles and read them. For example, Chad Marks often or sometimes reads from the book he wrote, and they suggest I do that. And I started reading the old articles that I wrote, especially the ones before I wrote professionally. I started writing for Vice and some other websites. And I'm reading them, and I swear to God, so I have not put words to paper since I've been out, or computer, or whatever. As a matter of fact, OG Mike will tell you, I think, my text messages, I do voice dictation, and they can be long and rambling, kind of like me when I talk on this. I was reading the articles, and there's a couple things. One of them, it hurt because it's like I felt like I didn't even know that person anymore. I was sober when I started writing. When I started doing those articles, and the writing style is just so fast, and it's like I incorporate religion and politics, current events, like everything. And I was like, where's that guy? And I don't mean to say I'm not the same person. I just the writing and the style, it blew me away. So I've got, 15, I'm looking at 15 that are 15 individual videos that's prison content that people keep asking me for. And that's when I'm going to start. I'm making these videos. Well, I hate to say days because one day to the next, just it just depends on what's going on in my life, in my head, whatever. Substance abuse, it's been an issue in the past. Now I'm tested constantly, and I don't hurt anybody but myself if I was to use and pop dirty. Then I'd go to prison, and then my medical, um, you know, stuff can be in jeopardy. The judge made that clear, and I want to thank him yet again for allowing me to stay out. Because if he didn't allow me to stay out right now, I would not have had surgery on Friday. And I'm going to tell you, once it goes into the bladder wall, it's a problem. And assuming that they could have even got me to a urologist, it would have been like minimum 6 weeks. And that's not when they take me to urology from the joint. They don't just remove the stuff that's in my bladder. They have to look and then talk about it. Let me spit this out. Excuse me. They have to look, talk about it, and that takes even longer. So God only knows what would have happened if he didn't allow me to stay out. And he made clear, that if I continued to use this time for other reasons, other than medical, meaning drinking, getting high, that I have nobody to blame but myself. And he didn't say that like an asshole. He said that like, look, and I respect him for it, and he's absolutely right. So let me read a couple of these. You're a fucking great writer. Thanks, Doug. That's what happens to all of us, man. I found when I was down or just shut, and I had great get up and go when I'm not down or shut. I don't do them things I loved. Yeah, yeah, Doug, for sure, for sure. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. So this article, and was on my blog, and it's I was writing random shit, just whatever I can come up with. Okay, and something in one of the magazines, I used to get like 13 magazines. Something came. I read an article about an abortion clinic in San Francisco that used the fetuses to make skin cream. Not like the whole thing, but I wrote an article about it, and it's just kind of it's. So let me also say, at this time in my life, this goes back to it started really when McCain and Obama were running for office. That's when I got into politics like crazy. Born and raised from a Democratic family, hardcore Democrats, union leaders. So the only time I voted, it was all Democrat, no matter what. And I was for Obama 100%. And then I saw Sarah Palin, and I know some things about Sarah Palin from Alaska. Again, my family was in labor's union, leaders labor's union, whatever. And she was a Republican who the Democrats loved in Alaska because she went after big oil. But it wasn't like I thought she was hot or whatever. Just her simplicity and how she was able to get the conservative message across really resonated. And I took like my political beliefs took like a far right swing. Okay. And that included like abortion. And to be honest, um, these days, my political views are not that far right. They're in the middle, and I can go, just depending on the issue, I can go either way. So I say that because this is like an anti-abortion message, um, like extreme. So just know that that's where I was at this time in my life. Okay, let me go ahead and let's see how it works. Let me see if I can read today. Right, those days where I can read good enough. Okay, so it's called Dead Baby Skin Cream. And I'm talking shit. I'm just being snarky, whatever. Okay, so baby killers, listen up. the next time you get knocked up and go in for one of those pesky routine fetal removers, you might want to tell the butcher that you'll take the little dead sucker to go. That's right. Just tell the doctor to toss the remains of little Johnny and Susie in a trash bag or something. That way you can take it with you and hopefully cash in on the bag of goop by selling it to Neocutis, a company based in San Francisco that sells, uh, this writing is very small, by the way, skin cream made from aborted babies. You think I'm joking? Well, here's a statement straight out of the company's website. Inspired by fetal skin's unique proprieties, Nocutis's proprietary technology uses curdled fetal skin cells to obtain optimal, naturally balanced mixtured nutrients. It's kind of sick, right? And for any critics, Neocutis has this to say. Our view, which is shared by most medical professionals and patients, is that limited, prudent, and responsible use of donated fetal skin tissues can continue to ease suffering, speed healing, save lives, and improve the well-being of many patients around the globe. Donated fetal skin cell tissues, my ass. Trust me, if you show up at the back door of Neocutis' headquarters with a bag full of baby puree, someone will buy it. Yeah, this isn't getting monetized. Right. And you thought Roe versus Wade was only about women's rights to choose. Ha! Shows how stupid you are. Am I losing my mind or is something totally wrong with this picture? I mean, is it cool to kill a kid, take its skin, turn it into dead baby skin cream and market it? Really? I guess it won't be long then before girls are running around telling all their friends about how wonderful dead baby skin cream is, huh? I wonder if it will come in assorted fragrances to match the dead baby's origin: African sunshine, Asian tea leaf, American sea breeze, and European mist. Fucking creepy, man. Real creepy. And you know what? There's no doubt in my mind that the same twisted, demented, liberal sick fucks who invented this shit are members of PETA, are strict vegetarians, are tie themselves to tree huggers, believe in man-made global warming, want to abolish the death penalty, would like to legalize hard drugs such as PCP, heroin, cocaine, and methamphetamine, and are against drilling for oil. Are against drilling for oil, march naked in gay rights parades, and are ecstatic that Chaz Bono decided to cut off her tits, grow a wiener, and become a man. And support the research of people like Mr. Ragnar Begson, a complete whack job who lives in Sweden that has been applying a breast pump to himself since September in hopes of producing male breast milk. To all of you self-centered, morally bankrupt maggots who have no problem smearing dead baby skin cream all over your disgusting bodies, and will no doubt buy many more dead baby products that are sure to come, I have this to say. Not only do I hope that not only do I hope that a bird shits on you today, but I hope you catch the swine flu. Happy aborting. Hey, I don't know. So anyway, yeah. So am I going to get banned from YouTube for like even reading that right now? And MRE, Mob Rats Exposed. We pushed back. This one's for you. You were on topic about youth. Now, this has to do with Chicago youth, predominantly African American. It's look, let me say this. So in prison, they got white, black, everything. Okay, I had a lot of black friends. We'd argue about different issues that were going on in the news, this and that, and I was not aware because I was in prison so long of how many country, uh, poor white, whatever you want to say, were like all hip hopped out. So I just keep that in mind. Okay. So, I mean, because I know this could appear, I remember somebody read it, one of my friends that were black, was like, "You're so racist, blah, blah, blah." That wasn't the intent. Okay. That's not whatever. So let me go ahead and read this. The Uncivil Rights Movement. Again, this is for MRE. They were talking about this issue kind of like on the show. Doug Ross, thank you. Respect, bro. Hey, thanks, Doug. I really appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. The Uncivil Rights Movement. There's an epidemic sweeping across the nation, and I don't believe that it's going to stop anytime soon. Urban hip hop, urban, wait, urban youth high on hip hop, hemp, and Hennessy, killing each other in the street. In 2008 alone, yeah, I know hemp. In 2008 alone, 1,494 children under the age of 18 were slaughtered. On September 24th, 2009, 16-year-old Darian Albert was beat to death on the streets of Chicago. The slaying was captured on a video and seen around the world. At a news conference following the tragic incident, Attorney General Eric Holder had this to say: "We simply cannot stand for an epidemic of violence that robs our youth of their childhood and perpetuates a cycle in which today's victims become tomorrow's criminals." U.S. Attorney Joe Russolino blames the child killings on, quote, "the toxic cocktail of drugs, guns, and gangs." But Sarasota, Florida Police Captain Bill Spittler doesn't believe the problem is just about gangs and drugs. "We have people killing each other for no reason," he said of the youth violence. "Actually, there is a very good reason why all these kids are killing each other. And it's not just about guns, drugs, and gangs. They are unknowing victims of a powerful movement, a movement that not only affects children, but every single American. I call this movement the Uncivil Rights Movement. The Uncivil Rights Movement turned children into killers, keeps gang membership thriving, glamorizes drug dealing, helps spread HIV/AIDS, encourages young men to beat and or impregnate women, leaves children fatherless, destroys entire communities, makes robbery seem like a respectable occupation, has lowered the standards of professional sports as well as made sporting events much more dangerous, and basically is responsible for turning America into the cesspool in which it has become. The leaders of this uncivil rights movement, question mark, just about every rap and hip hop artist that made it to the top. What started off in the late 70s as good, clean music filled with catchy rhymes and make you feel good beats has morphed into the perfect medium for uncivil rights leaders to turn the youth of our nation into mannerless criminals lacking morals and values. Through their hypnotic lyrics, kids and young adults have been brainwashed into believing that it's their God-given uncivil right to steal, kill, assault, rob, deal drugs, and rape. Women have been reduced to nothing more than bitches, hoes, snow bunnies, nappy dugouts, and baby mamas. And boys believe that these bitches need to be beat, knocked up, passed around for all their homies to fuck, then discarded like a piece of trash. Girls now believe that it's okay to gap their legs for the boys who have the most bling, dope rides, the bomb drugs, and pockets that are stacked. Manners are now a thing of the past, with words like please, may, and may I, and thank you replaced with let me get that, give me my shit, and good looking. And because of rap and hip hop, kids now believe that fast money is the only way to make any real money. And if you're getting it illegally, then you ain't nothing. If you're getting it legally, then you ain't nothing but a sucker. In other words, why would any kids who listen to rap and hip hop want to go to school or bust their ass trying to succeed legitimately when, through the power of music, their heroes are telling them that crime is the way to go? And people are actually wondering why so many children are dying in the streets. Uncivil rights leader Jay-Z has boasted about having President Obama's telephone number on speed dial. In fact, I consider Jay-Z the president's unofficial hip hop czar. That's why I'm calling on our Nobel Prize-winning president and his trusty czar to hold a news conference and publicly denounce the uncivil rights movement. They should call upon all the rappers and hip hop stars to clean up their lyrics. They can take a few tips from Will Smith. And Jay-Z should not only apologize for all the crimes that he committed and tell kids how wrong that he was, but he should also apologize to all the families whose children have been murdered due to the influence of his music. In addition, Jay-Z should form a coalition of rappers and hip hop artists and go from city to city talking to communities about the evils of crime. They should also promote self-respect, the importance of respecting others, birth control, family values, and education. The immediate change that would take place in our country if he and other uncivil rights leaders were to actually do this would be unprecedented in communities and would in fact be, leaders were to actually do this would be unprecedented. Communities would in fact become safer. Children would in fact stop killing each other. To those of you that live in poverty-stricken communities where urban violence has left you imprisoned in your own home, I want to say this. When I said that urban children are high on hip hop, I wasn't joking. They take these words, I'm sorry, they take the words to these songs quite literally. What's even more insane to me is the fact that most rappers are nothing more than studio gangsters. And the minute that they get into trouble with the law, rather than remain silent like they preach to the kids, they snitch their asses off and never serve any real time, if they serve any time at all. T.I. is a perfect example. Yet when your kids kill each other or witness a murder, they remain silent and or go to prison for a very long time. Does this make any sense? It's classic case of do as I say, but not as I do. Also, I do believe that poverty plays a role in all this violence. So I would like to say this as well. It is not the government's nor the taxpayers' responsibility to fix and solve the problems of the poor. So the next time any of you ask what your local, state, or federal government can do for you and your community, you should instead be asking yourself why all these mega rich musicians aren't doing squat for you. Through their music, they exploit the poor, turn children into criminals, lash out at the government and the rich, yet they don't help you at all. Help comes in the form of jobs, not government or celebrity handouts. So why can't all these rich rappers and hip hop stars pull some of their millions together, which would turn into billions, and start up businesses in urban areas, in effect, employing the poor? The truth is they can, but instead they take their money and invest it into the same places or into the same types of business that all those rich people that they bitch about do. They can come up with new ideas and help employ the poor if they truly wanted to. I want you to think about that. The uncivil rights movement is very real, and it's doubtful that the president or Jay-Z will do anything to stop it, although they both could. For Obama, it's a double-edged sword, since he does owe his presidency to the integration that hip hop has brought to this country. And there's no way in hell that Jay-Z is about to switch gears now. He's made way too much money off spreading the uncivil rights. So I guess children will just keep dying. There it is there. So, yeah, MRE, that one's for you, bro. Anyway, I swear I read this and I'm just like, listening but can't comment. Rob, everyone in the chat. Sup chat. Right. Okay. Good morning. Rob, okay. Yeah, anyway. Mob rats. I told Tommy, man, young black kids are dying like crazy. It's true. Makes young kids think it's mainly killing each other. That's right. Amen. Old hip hop was about parties. That's right. And girls not killing. You're right, Emory. Anyway, when you started talking about, you were on that, the same line. I was like, wow, I just saw this article. I have it over here. So I just pulled that one out of the hat too. Again, a lot of prisons-based stories in article form that I will be reading and posting shortly in videos. Otherwise, it is 4 o'clock. I'm going to eat something and get ready to go to bed here shortly. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. And like I said, there's going to be a lot of people bummed out that Danny Bifield is not showing up or whatever. The interview's been canceled. I'm one of them, but I get it. And as far as me, I'll be fine. MRE, and I don't say this joking or in jest. I appreciate your prayers. I really do. We've talked, and I know you're about that. And I started going to church, especially when I was up in Fort Smith down here. There's a little church. One of the problems is that my mom tries to get me to go every Sunday, and this has been my schedule now. I do the night thing because of the job I had, and technically can get hired back in February, but I gotta figure something else out. So I'm gone. Let me see what she said. Great prayer. Okay, yeah. You guys have a good morning and take care. Thank you.